Of Eli Lilly closing at a record high, up 2.5%, and it comes after a regulatory win in China. The pharma giant received approval for its GLP-1 drug. Its competitor Novo Nordisk's drug Ozempic won approval in China in 2021. Well, joining us now, Bank of America's Geoff Meacham. Geoff, Lilly stock has quadrupled in 3 years, doubled in the past 12 months. Are GLP-1s just now the iPhone of Lilly, where how people feel about that has an outsized impact on where this goes?
Thanks for having me, John. Yeah, great question. And by the way, I think you should add it to the Magnificent Seven, maybe make it the Magnificent Eight at this point. You know, the story I would say with GLP-1s for sure is that we're early innings in the broader adoption in obesity, and we're still very early innings, obviously, in diabetes as well. We don't view China as a huge market currently. I mean, keep in mind that it's approved, but that doesn't mean that Lilly is going to launch it. I don't know if Novo Nordisk has launched either. They can really keep up with the demand in the U.S.
Okay, so at the $1,000 price target that you have on Lilly, it would be right at about $1 trillion valuation. And that makes me wonder, what is it that Lilly needs to do with this currency that it has, the stock currency, to justify this, take best advantage of it going forward? What's the new sort of ecosystem that they need to build to belong permanently in that mega cap rank?
Yep. Yeah, great question. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go that's going on with respect to clinical development. So, you know, it's not just diabetes, obesity. There are new indications to come, cardiovascular disease, including heart failure, sleep apnea. There's tons of other indications where weight's not the only component. And so I think that's the main objective here, is just to put money back into R&D, develop the even next-gen assets in metabolic disease. I don't think Lilly needs to go out and do a mega deal just to kind of spend the currency, if that's your question. But I'm not sure buybacks and dividend hikes are that exciting either. So I think a big step up, in kind of in the pipeline probably makes the most sense here.
I mean, speaking of pipelines, Eli Lilly is more than just the weight loss and diabetes, the metabolic pipeline, as you sort of just highlighted. I mean, they're in cancer drugs. They're working on Alzheimer's. Yes, I realize there was the postponed approval decision back a couple of months ago. But how much is the rest of the portfolio getting overlooked here? And how much, I guess, upside potentially is there as you see some of those drugs make their way to market?
Yeah, for sure, Morgan. The Alzheimer's program, I think, is underappreciated. I mean, we're only modeling. It's sort of funny to say only, but $7 to $8 billion at the end of the decade, and that's kind of consensus for Alzheimer's. Given the size of the population and a much higher price point, that could be an area that they could really start to allocate capital towards. Also, keep in mind that other pharma peers have done deals in the neuropsychiatry space. That could be something of interest. But you're totally right. It's not just diabetes, obesity. You have oncology, you have inflammation, you have neuroscience. So a lot of unmet needs and a lot of, I think, very differentiated drugs. But I think that's probably 10% of our conversation on Lilly, really. I mean, the vast majority of the talk, of the discussions are really obesity.